What's going on, Hawks fans? Chris Tipmore here, Hawks Digest. With breaking news. We have breaking news coming out for the Atlanta Hawks, and it's pretty darn big, y'all. So, as of right now, it was reported by Chris Haynes of Bleacher Report that the Atlanta Hawks just lost Jalen Johnson for the entire year. Again, breaking news, Atlanta Hawks young star Jalen Johnson has suffered a torn labrum in his left shoulder and will miss the rest of the freaking season. And my goodness, this is a huge blow for the Atlanta Hawks, man. Jalen Johnson was the number 2 behind Trae Young as far as offense goes, as far as usage goes, as far as where the production is going to flow through. And now Jalen Johnson is lost for the season, guys. Huge news coming out of Atlanta. It's absolutely devastating, man. JJ was taking strides. Before he started suffering these shoulder injuries, JJ was putting up numbers. My goodness, it just was crazy. Jalen Johnson averaging 18.9 points, career high. Rebounds, 10 a game, career high. He was having a career year. You see shooting 50% from the field, now only 31% from 3, but my thing is once this guy got downhill, you could not stop Jalen Johnson. You couldn't stop the unstoppable, but the unstoppable has been stopped now due to a torn labrum in his left shoulder. Jalen Johnson was making so many strides, to being a dominant name in this business, to being the baby LeBron-ish, because he was definitely working out with LeBron in the offseason. You could see that his game has taken strides and taken steps further this year. Before Jalen Johnson went down with the shoulder injuries, the man was having 27, 28, 29, and they finally got that 30-point game. And then he started suffering these injuries back when he was right before we started that West Coast trip. Jalen Johnson, he was going through a shoulder thing. It was his right shoulder, and he made it back through that. He actually missed most of the West Coast trip because of that shoulder injury, and now it's his left shoulder. He went out with it, guys, back on January 23rd. Remember, he left the Toronto game with this left shoulder injury, and it looked bad. You see the guy's face. You see Veet's face. I'll even blow it up for you on the bigger screen for it so you can get a better look at him. You seen the concern in the teammate's face right here and he knew it immediately. He knew it immediately. If you were at the game or if you were listening to the game, you heard Jalen Johnson kind of like yell out an explicit excerity, and he was hurt. He was hurt. He knew immediately, guys. He knew immediately. And he went right back to the locker room. And us Hawks fans, we all gasped. We all, held our breath because we like, come on, we just got JJ back. And we were hoping that it would not be to this extent that it is. But unfortunately, the Atlanta Hawks now have lost Jalen Johnson again, as it was reported by Chris Haynes. And it was reported by Shams as well a few minutes later. Devastating blow. Absolutely devastating blow. The Hawks have some moves they have to make now to make up for Jalen Johnson. How do you make up for Jalen Johnson right there? Again, a guy who was having a career year, guys, and now he is lost for the season. It's tough, but I will say this. This is now an opportunity for guys like Mo G to get more quality minutes. Again, I said just last night that, really this morning as well, but I just said in my last video that Mo G needs more time. So this is going to give Mo G more time by default, and you hate that it comes at the extent of losing Jalen Johnson, but Mo G, you're up. Other guys, it's going to be time to step up. We'll see if the Hawks make any kind of moves to try to counter the fact that they will not have Jalen Johnson for the rest of the year. That is now a guarantee, just like Kobe Buffkin is gone. We got to see what's going on with Bogey and his personal matters. Clint Capela with back spasms. The Hawks are just suffering so many injuries right now, and it's a terrible time for these to happen. Again, guys, it's tough sledding. We have to figure out how to navigate through these injuries. We have to figure out how can we still stay afloat without Jalen Johnson, because you've seen that the Hawks have been suffering without him in the games, in rebounding, scoring, defense, spacing. When Jalen's not out there, it's a lot of places that you suffer. And you're going to have to try to make up those points now. You're going to have to try to make up those points and those rebounds. You got to figure out a way to do it. But again, guys, one last time, breaking news out of Atlanta. Jalen Johnson is now out. Jalen Johnson is lost for the season, according to Chris Haynes. Again, devastating blow for the Atlanta Hawks. And my goodness, guys, let your voice be heard. Join into the conversation about Jalen Johnson. Let us know your thoughts. Give us your thoughts about Jalen Johnson being out for the season. How do you guys feel like the Hawks can still salvage this season? How do you guys feel like that they can navigate through these injuries? Big injury after big injury. We already know that some people had a knock on Jalen Johnson because of his injury history. So, guys, this is another blow to Jalen Johnson's season. This happened similar last year when he was up and down, missing games for the Atlanta Hawks, and people were worried about his health, and those were one thing that they had knacks on him about his health. How healthy can he be? How available can he be? Those were questions coming into the season, and Jalen Johnson also signed that extension for that 5 years. It looks like the Hawks signed him at the right time, because that deal is going to look, like nothing in a few years. It's going to look like an absolute steal. But also it's a steal because if he's having injuries like this, then the Hawks don't need to be paying super huge money. They still need to be able to fluctuate and navigate. So this right here is a big blow again for the Atlanta Hawks. But we have to see what will happen moving forward with Jalen Johnson. We still move. It's still true to Atlanta, but this is a devastating blow, I have to admit. But guys, please, by all means, but don't forget to please make sure that you're subscribing to the channel as we're marching forward to 1,000 subs and beyond. Again, make Hawk Digest your first listen when you need breaking Hawks news, and everything about the Atlanta Hawks comes right through here at Hawks Digest. But until next time, guys, peace and blessings to you all. Protect yourself. Be good out there. Be nice. But Jalen Johnson out for the year. Devastating blow for the Atlanta Hawks.